You were told you are a unique snowflake. That is a beautiful lie. You are not special. And once you accept that, you can finally start working like someone who wants to become special. Before you close this video, give me 30 seconds, because I know how that sounds, especially to a Black woman who has spent her entire life in rooms that treated her like she was invisible, dispensable, easily replaced, rooms that made it very clear her presence was tolerated, not celebrated. You have not spent your life being told you are too special. You have spent it fighting to be seen at all. So when I say you are not special, I need you to understand what I mean and what I do not mean. I do not mean you do not matter. I do not mean your life is not significant or your potential is not real. I mean something more specific and more useful than that. I mean the version of you are special that was handed to you as a child, the one that implied your gifts would be recognized automatically, that the right people would eventually see you, that your talent was enough on its own to produce the life you deserved. That version is the lie. And that lie has been quietly working against you in ways you may not have fully named yet. This video is about naming it and about what becomes possible the moment you put it down. Here is what happens to a person who is raised to believe they are inherently special. They wait to be discovered. They produce good work and expect it to be noticed without advocating for it. They feel that needing to market themselves, negotiate for themselves, or actively pursue recognition somehow contradicts the specialness they were promised. If they were truly exceptional, the world would simply see it. And when the world does not see it, when the promotion goes to someone less qualified, when the opportunity lands in someone else's lap, when they are passed over quietly and repeatedly, they do not conclude that the system needs navigating. They conclude that they were not as special as they thought. And that conclusion is devastating in a way that is very hard to recover from, because the identity was built on the foundation that crumbles. This is what the special narrative produces at its worst. Passivity dressed as confidence, waiting dressed as patience, fragility dressed as self-assurance, because when your belief in your own worth is tied to being inherently exceptional, the first significant failure does not just sting. Threatens everything. Black women carry an additional layer of this. We were often told we were special in private by the people who loved us, while the world outside consistently communicated the opposite. So we learn to hold both truths simultaneously, the private knowing and the public erasure. And the tension between them is exhausting in a way that never fully goes away. The antidote is not more affirmations about how exceptional you are. It is a cleaner, more honest framework for what actually produces a remarkable life. Here is the truth underneath the provocation. You are not special in the sense that you are exempt from the work. You are not special in the sense that your gifts will advocate for themselves. You are not special in the sense that the gap between where you are and where you want to be closes without deliberate, consistent, unglamorous effort applied over a longer period than feels fair. Nobody is special in that sense. Not the women you admire, not the ones whose lives look effortless from the outside, not the ones who seem to have been handed things you had to fight for. Look closely enough at any exceptional life, and you will find an exceptional volume of work that happened before the world started paying attention. And this is where the liberation lives. If you are not special in the way that exempts you from work, then you are also not unspecial in the way that exempts you from results. The same process that produced the outcomes you admire is available to you, not the connections they had, not the privilege some of them started with. The process, the specific, repeatable, unglamorous process of doing the thing consistently, adjusting when it does not work, and continuing anyway. That process does not check your background before it works. It does not ask who your family is. It does not require you to be discovered. It requires you to show up to it with honesty about where you are starting from and commitment to closing the distance yourself. That is it. That is the whole thing. You are not special, which means nothing is waiting on your specialness to begin. You can start from exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. And the process will work the same way it worked for everyone else who went through it honestly. 3 things, specific ones. Volume before quality. Every person who is now exceptional at something produced a significant volume of work that was not exceptional before they got there. The first version is always worse than the vision. The gap between what you can imagine and what you can currently produce is not a sign that you are not meant for this. It is the normal distance that deliberate practice closes. You do not skip the volume. You go through it. Feedback over comfort. The special narrative is comfortable. It does not require you to sit with the specific ways your work is currently not good enough. Honest feedback does. Seeking it out from people who know more than you, from the market, from the results you are actually getting rather than the ones you imagined, is uncomfortable and completely necessary. A woman who protects herself from honest feedback in order to protect the feeling of specialness is a woman who will improve very slowly, if at all. Consistency over intensity. Most women who set out to change their lives do it in bursts. Intense effort, followed by rest, followed by another burst, followed by another rest. The women who actually get there do something less dramatic and more powerful. They show up on the days it is not exciting. The Tuesday when nothing feels inspired. The month when no results are visible. The season when it feels like the work is going nowhere. They show up anyway, not because they are more disciplined than you by nature, because they accepted early that the unglamorous consistency was the actual vehicle, and the motivation was a passenger that came and went. I have a friend, I will call her Imani. Imani had been told her whole life that she was gifted. Her teachers said it, her family said it. She had the grades, the accolades, the early markers that suggested a remarkable life was simply waiting ahead of her. Then she entered the real world and discovered that gifted is a description of potential, not a guarantee of outcome. That the world does not reward potential. It rewards production, consistent, visible, advocated for production. She spent 3 years confused by the gap between what she had been told she was and what her actual results were showing her. She was talented and underperforming, not because the talent was not real, but because she had never learned to treat it as a starting point rather than a destination. The shift came from a conversation with a woman she respected, who told her something that initially felt unkind. She said, "Your talent is real, but you are treating it like a trust fund, like it is going to pay out eventually without you doing anything with it. It does not work like that. You have to invest it." Imani sat with that for a week. Then she made a specific decision. She would stop waiting for her talent to be recognized and start making it impossible to ignore. She set a volume target for her creative work, not a quality target, a volume target. She would produce a specific number of pieces every month, regardless of whether she thought they were good enough. She sought out critique from two people she found genuinely intimidating because she understood that comfortable feedback was a mirror, and she needed a window. 18 months later, the quality of her work had surpassed anything she had produced in the 3 years before it. Not because she had discovered something new about herself, because she had stopped treating herself as special and started treating herself as someone who was willing to do what becoming exceptional actually requires. She told me, I wasted 3 years waiting to be found. I spent 18 months becoming findable. One I am choosing from now on. You are not special. Not in the way that means the work is optional. Not in the way that means the world owes you recognition without effort. Not in the way that means the gap closes on its own. But you are also not exempt from what the process produces in people who go through it honestly. And that is the most liberating thing I can tell you, because it means nothing is waiting on a quality you were either born with or not. It is waiting on a decision you can make today. Stop waiting to be discovered. Start becoming impossible to ignore. The process works. Go through it. Share this to a sister. Welcome home. Subscribe to Shine My Crown. Do not miss our next video. Every day we have this conversation, the honest one, the one that respects you enough to tell you the truth instead of what feels good to hear. Subscribe.